Hello everybody, welcome to Morgoni MES College Online Learning Hub. As per instruction, today I will analyze chapter 24-26 of the Poetics by Aristotle, which is in your syllabus. After attending today's lesson, you will be able to comprehend how Aristotle compared epic and tragedy and what is superior between the two. In chapter 24, he says epic resembles tragedy in many aspects, but he says that the epic differs from tragedy more in length and meter. An epic poem can be longer than a tragedy and can present events occurring at different places in which add to richness of interest. It differs also in meter. Experience has proved that there is only one meter in which epic can be written, the heroic hexameter. In his treatment of drama, Aristotle takes Homer as the supreme model of his artistic unity, of dramatic construction, and of Arthur's rule in epic. That is, he should speak as little as possible in his character. Above all, of the art which is essential both in epic and dramatic poetry, the art of telling lies in the right way. This is logical fallacy, or what Coleridge called willing suspension of disbelief. Chapter 26 contains the general problem: which one is greater, whether the epic or the tragedy? For Aristotle, tragedy is superior in many aspects, which is more inclusive, compact, and effective than epic. Tragedy may be decried as vulgar because it appeals to the crowd and acting can easily degenerate. Tragedy is preferred because it contains all the pleasure-giving elements of the epic, with music and scenery. In addition, its effects on emotions is stronger because, being shorter, it is more concentrated. It has greater unity, and lastly, it attains its poetic effect. The rule of three unities was created by neoclassicists who gave the impression that it may be found in Aristotle's Poetics. Actually, Aristotle insisted on the unity of action. The doctrine of unity of time was cited by Aristotle in reference to the tragedy that, as far as possibility, should be confined itself to the single revolution of the sun. As for the unity of place, this too was a stage practice of the Greek drama. It is not mentioned in Poetics, but critics reduce it from the unity of time. Presence of chorus tended towards unity of place and unity of time. The unity of action is an organic unity, an inward principle which reveals itself in the form of an outward whole. Within the single and complete action constitutes the unity of tragedy. When Aristotle taught about an ideal tragic hero, he probably taught about the hero of Sophocles, that is, Oedipus. Therefore, the ideal tragic hero should be basically a good man with a minor flaw or tragic trait in his character. The entire tragedy should issue from this minor flaw or error of judgment. The fall and sufferings and death of such a hero would certainly generate feelings of pity and fear. The characteristics of an ideal tragic hero, according to Aristotle, are: he must be an eminent man, he must be a good man, his character must be appropriate to his station in his life, he must possess a likeness to human nature, he must be consistent even in his inconsistency. Here is the visual presentation of some of his traits. Aristotle used the following Greek terms in his Poetics. Let us explain some of it. Mimesis. Mimesis is the act of creating in someone's mind through artistic representation an idea or ideas that the person will associate with the past experience, roughly transferable as imitation. Mimesis in poetry is the act of telling stories that are set in real world. The event in the story need have taken place, but the telling of the story will help the listener and viewer to imagine the events taking place in the real world. Hamartia. The word translates almost directly as error, though it is often rendered more elaborately as tragic flaw. Tragedy, according to Aristotle, involves the downfall of a hero, and this downfall is effected by some errors on the part of the hero, and this error need not be an overreaching moral failing. It could be a simple matter of not knowing something or forgetting something. Anagnosis. This word translates as recognition or discovery. In tragedy, it describes the moment where the hero and some other character passes from ignorance to knowledge. This could be a recognition of a long lost friend or family member, or it could be a sudden recognition of some fact about oneself, as in the case with Oedipus. Anagnosis often occurs at the climax of a tragedy, in tandem with peripecia. Mythos. When dealing with tragedy, this word is usually translated as plot, but unlike plot, mythos can be applied to all works of art. Not so much a matter of what happens and in what order. Mythos deals with how the elements of a tragedy or a painting, a sculpture come together to form a coherent, unified whole. The overall message or impression that we come away with is what is conveyed to us by the mythos of a piece. This word was normally used in ancient Greece by doctors to mean purgation or by priests to mean purification. In the context of tragedy, Aristotle uses it to talk about the purgation or purification of emotions. Presumably, this means that catharsis is a release of built up emotional energy, much like a good cry. After catharsis, we reach a more stable and neutral emotional state. Peripecia. A reversal either from good or bad to good. Peripecia often occurs at the climax of a story, often prompted by anagnosis. Indeed, we might say that the peripecia, the climax of a story. It is the turning point in the action where things begin to move towards a conclusion. Lucis. Literary untying. The lucis is all the action in a tragedy from climax onward. All the plot threads that have been woven together in the daces are slowly unraveled until we reach the conclusion of the play. Daces. Literally tying. The daces is all the action in a tragedy leading up to the climax. Plot threads are craftily woven together to form a more and more complex mass. At the peripecia or turning point, these plot threads begin to unravel in what is called the lucis or denouement. Pathos. Pathos is a quality of an experience in life or a work of art, or that stirs up emotions of pity, sympathy, sorrow. Pathos can be expressed through words, pictures, or even with gestures of the body. Hubris. Hubris is excessive pride or self-confidence. In Greek tragedy, excessive pride towards or defiance of the gods, leading to nemesis. Nemesis is the inescapable agent of someone's or something's downfall. A downfall caused by an inescapable agent. In other words, it is synonymous to fate. This is the last session that completes your syllabus on Aristotle's Poetics. We will soon have a quiz test online. See you soon.